Hello, everybody. It's Chris Wood here. Saturday, April 1st, 2023. A little after, about 5 after 2 p.m. I'm doing this, and I have once again no feeling in my head or my face, no stimulation from being deformed. I am getting what feels like air being pumped through the right side of my head in here into the back of my head. I have a spot on the back of my head where it's going. Lies, cover ups, time buying, my skull split and proving it, brain injured, lung and kidney damage, cover ups, treatment refusals, false medical file falsifications, treatment once again refusals, discriminations, laughing in my face over being sodomized, being falsely charged twice because of wanting it done to cops and doctors, and that's their way to get out of it, was done to me in an attempt to give me a record, in an attempt to deflect the crimes that the doctors here are guilty of with criminal negligence and covering up for themselves, for OPP, for Billy Wooldridge, Blair Hardy, Tyler Lake, Jason Van Alstyne, Dale Hartwick, Tony Hearns, Ray Ray. These are the ones that work with them for OPP. They're drug fed, money paid human traffickers, sex slavery traffickers. I was sold to Billy Wooldridge and Blair Hardy for this. I am a 50-year-old revenge retaliation identity theft victim. They actually believe that they own me. They actually believe that they control me. They actually believe that they can manipulate me to get me to think I am somebody I'm not. Not going to happen. I am the victim of identity theft and changes, which I've shown and proven. I'm a revenge retaliation victim for speaking police crimes since 2019. I was shot by ex-OPP chief before he left. He was driving a white Jeep Wrangler, and somebody in a black truck with black hair didn't see their face, but they pointed something and they shot it at me. And it wasn't with a bullet, it was with something that went into my right ear. I started having problems after that. I went to the hospital. That year, I finally get an appointment for CAT scan done. Conveniently, Stacy, one of the ones involved, a mental health worker, was there talking to her girlfriend Tatiana, telling her she was there for me for support for alleged anxiety and all this other bullshit over getting CAT scans done, and I have none whatsoever over that. When she found out I was there with my mother, who was alive at the time, and another, she left and walked right by us. I go to get my CAT scans done, and I was pretty much immediately medically blacklisted, told I wouldn't understand anything, and I needed medication, da 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 da. That's when I started going to different hospitals, and I would hear, I seen your file, I seen your file, I seen your file. What do you expect us to do?" Or they were getting calls about lies on me about being suicidal and self harm, or on drugs or whatever, and it was believed because who it was coming from. And it's not true in any way, shape, or form because I had my long hair and I had my tattoos. So it was believed, but it's not true. Being rushed to the hospital by ambulance and being kicked out after they leave, being told that they have notes on me stating I'm not supposed to be there, being falsely arrested to keep the doctors in the hospital from crimes that they are guilty of, and that was done, like I said, in an attempt to give me a criminal record I never previously had, to get my pictures, prints, signatures, and everything for this identity theft and changes, which I've shown and proven. Kidnapped May 27, 2021, 24 hours after help through Shelley Hafner, mental health worker and cop, and staff sergeant, years 2021. He was kind of a fat guy with grayish hair and a goatee. Lies, the cover ups, false arrest refusals, transferring medical rights, legal rights, human rights taken from me. Well, I am going through this, and nobody has to prove anything. How two convenient cops and doctors, you label your victims as being suicidal, self harmer, or on drugs, whatever the case may be, using badges, positions, credentials. So when you are torturing them, when you are murdering them, you will be above suspicion, and you can use that narrative as a means for their death. And this is a way to be above suspicion, especially when it's done on the poor, homeless, elderly, and disabled. You see us as toilets, somebody you can piss down, shit down, and flush lives down the toilet. I spoke police crimes, the human homeless trafficking, and the homeless exploitation taking place. As a result, I became a victim, and I don't regret that because hopefully it helped people. But in the process, my mother was stalked and murdered, and two of my dogs were also killed. While I am going through this, enough lies, time buying, and cover ups. Police conveniently cause their shit, they transfer, and then to avoid arrest, lawsuits against themselves and OPP in hopes of deniability, using badges, position, credentials. And then, just as of 2 weeks ago, I was charged again for going to the hospital for wanting help because my skull was being deformed. And as soon as I left, I was arrested. And that morning, I was at the courthouse here in Napanee to get private prosecution papers to file on the Justice of the Peace, OPP, and doctors and others. Conveniently, I didn't do that yet, but I had the papers and it was done to me. She filed on me to prevent anything on anyone else. Needs to be investigated for corruption and obstructions, accusing me of being high on marijuana and hallucinating being sodomized because who was done by, and to prevent arrest while smelling like alcohol, whiskey at 10 o'clock in the morning and having glossy eyes like just railing a big line of cocaine, not making accusations, just saying. So, families are murdered and missing. This is how it's being done, is by being done through doctors and through inmates here. Poor, homeless, elderly, financial thefts and frauds, identity thefts and frauds, framings, kidnapping, blood and piss stealing, doing everything possible to try to discredit your victims, bringing in new cops and rookies that the higher ups involved can give orders to that they will not question the orders to aid them in their crimes. And that's exactly what's taking place here in Napanee. There was a cop that was just conveniently charged, and he's going to have a nice little paid vacation. But I hope the one that had him charged, if it was by a person that's a civilian, I hope their family is not in the country because their family will be killed, if not them. And that's a given. That's how OPP operate. I've been proving it for 3.5 years. I had no criminal record or history or association with any cops. No psychological record. No neurological problems either. Prior to being shot, I had not been to a hospital or a doctor in approximately 7 to 10 years. I hadn't needed to. I was mentally and physically and spiritually doing good and well and growing, helping myself, trying to, helping others, trying to. And then I spoke of what was taking place here, and as a result, stalking, intimidations, threats, being shot, the lies, time buying, cover ups, arrest refusals, my mother being stalked, getting threatening phone calls, my mother being murdered, my dogs being killed, one just last week on March 24th, a week ago Friday, or a week ago yesterday, Friday yesterday, March 31st. But as I'm doing this, I have no feeling in my head or my face. My balance is being fucked, and it feels like I'm getting air pumped through the right side of my lung. Knowing I can't do anything about this, no matter what is being done to me, I cannot get help. So let that be known. Chris Wood, love all, hate none, be safe, especially for the ones around here. Watch yourselves, watch your children, watch your finances. Billy Waldridge, Blair Hardy, Tyler Lake, Van Alstyne, Ray, Hartwick, Hearns, and the rest of you bastards, you are going to answer for what you've done. And one way or another, you will be arrested. And one way or another, I will see you in jail where you belong, along with OPP being charged and the doctors here, right from the CEO having to answer for what they've done to me. So be safe, everybody. How OPP cover crimes, the hospital, inmates that they use, lies, time buying cover ups. Especially if you're poor, you're screwed. Hit that like, share, subscribe. This is very serious and important, especially share because this needs to be getting out. This needs to be going viral. And like I said, this is no vendetta or hate towards cops. I had no association with anybody I've previously named in any way, shape, or form prior to 2019, and all of this starting on me. Be safe.